Hello and welcome back to another video. So it's been a while since the last one again. Been very busy with work, sorting stuff out around the house and things. But obviously because of this new little you have to stay indoors policy, I thought I'd do a nice little video on my New Year New Armies Grey Knight army. So over the last probably 3 months I've been slowly building up my Grey Knights army. I've been wanting them for a lot of years, but never really had the incentive or the drive to really kind of get into it. So with the New Year New Army thing from Games Workshop, I decided to take the plunge. Went to my local store. Luckily I had some store credit, so I had about £10 store credit and 10% off, so I took the plunge and I bought these bad boys, what you can see here. So my friend gave me his old box of Grey Knights that he had knocking around his house. I bought a box, and I bought a box of the normal guys, and also Brother Captain Stern. That was best part a couple of months ago. I entered them into my local stores competitions because they're doing like a slow grow type thing. And I was really happy that I came out with I think it was best army. What was it? Best painted, best conversion. Oh, best in show, that's the one. Yeah, I came out with best in show. So I entered my two squads, and these guys, he was in the HQ one, he didn't win nothing for the HQ one on the first month. But I entered them in, and I made a custom display board for them, which you can find on my Instagram and my Facebook. And I came away with, yeah, best in show, so I was really chuffed with that. It kind of gave me a little bit more of a push to kind of get going and get these finished. But currently I have two 5-man squads of Terminators and two 5-man squads of the teleporting troops. I don't know what I can't remember what they're called. I haven't actually got the codex yet. But my latest creation that I have literally just finished about 10 minutes ago is this chap. So I've been wanting a Dread Knight for God knows how many years, ever since they first came out, and I thought it'd be a fantastic opportunity to do a conversion. So had to play around with the kit, which is like super awesome to convert, and just in general just fantastic. Magnetized a lot of bits, so I've got magnetized weapons on here, so if I want to use the hammer I can always take that off, use the hammer. I've got magnetized underslung weapons as well, so his gun can also come off, but it's a bit of a bug to put back on. And yeah, just finished him, but obviously he's another, I'll get to him in a minute. But what the aim for me was with the Grey Knights is they don't really get much love nowadays, and with all this new Psychic Awakening stuff that's come out with Games Workshop, I thought it was a good opportunity to kind of jump into an army that not many people play. I've personally loved for a very long time, and just try and get me back into 40k really. I've got my Necron army, which is, they're good, but when you play the same army time and time again, it does kind of get a little bit boring and a bit repetitive. I painted them obviously for last year's Armies on Parade. These will be going for this year's Armies on Parade, but I'm really excited with what I've got coming for this army. So in the next probably couple of weeks, obviously post is now getting a little bit delayed from overseas, I've got a out of production Forge World Dreadnought body, the two weapons, so the Force weapon that they have and the Psi weapon for it. I've got a full set of Land Raider upgrade for the like the doors, the weapons and all that kind of stuff, like the massive flamers that come on the side. I've also got the Rhino doors upgrade, and I've also got a Razorback upgrade with the Twin Link Psi Cannon on top, which I'm really pumped to get going. As soon as they come, then I'll be happy. I've also got another Imperial Knight on its way as well, one of the Forge World. It's the one with a claw and like the giant gun, because obviously I'm adding a few Imperial Knights to this force just to kind of give it a little bit more oomph. But the way I really want to take these is kind of expand a little bit. I want to use them in tournaments as well, because they don't really tend to get much love. I've gone all halberds for the Terminators. I do actually have another box of Grey Knight Terminators as well that I bought the other day with the Dread Knight. I had some money off, again. So I used that to get them, and that knocked off quite a bit of money. So I'll probably do them. I'm thinking possibly with swords, but if not, I'll just give them halberds again, because well, they're Grey Knights and they're supposed to have halberds, in my opinion. But I just thought I'd do like a little bit of an army overview, what I've done to the units and stuff, and where I'm going to go. So with the normal troops, what I've done for these is I've fully magnetised as much as I can to get as many weapons options as I can. So with if this focuses, I'll put it there. With these, all the heavy weapons, special weapons have all been magnetised. So he's got side cannon, flamer, Gatling silencer as well. That's all magnetised. So you can literally just clip them on, clip them off, which is good for me because that means I do have a spare set of arms that I can use. So if I need to give another my guy double falchions, then I can give him them. My captain, he's got his weapons magnetised as well, so he can either have his massive great big kick-ass sword, or he can have a halberd. The same with this unit as well. I tried to do a bit of variation on the poses and things, so he's got magnetised hand as well, and he can have the halberd, and also this guy's got the, I think it's the Gatling silencer, I'm not too sure, side cannons on, but he's got fully magnetised as well. Just gives me a little bit more option in game. Obviously I don't want to go out and have to buy tons and tons of boxes just to be able to have a unit with a certain weapon in it, so what I did was magnetise as much as I could to try and get as many options as I could. So you've also got the leader for each Terminator squad. He's got magnetised hands as well, so he can either have that, the librarian staff, or the thunderhammer. I also did another one because basically what I wanted was, just in case I want to, I can also change this guy's halberd out for the standard bearer. I've got to paint the standard because I want to do a decent job of it, so I'm going to take the time on it. But with these as well, I also magnetise the arms. Let me just get the tub. So what I've done with those was it took a little bit longer, but in my opinion it was kind of worth it in the long run. So what I did with these was I magnetised one guy in each unit to basically have this arm. So it's this arm. There's more than enough parts you can use them, so he can then have that on there, and then he can also take the special weapons like flamers, silencers and things like that. So I've also got that option to include something into the squad without having to go out and buy another unit, basically. Obviously I need to paint the thunderhammers and stuff. I still got to paint all the weapons options and things. So, but they all have been fully magnetised. And yeah, so I've got that for that squad. I've done pretty much the same with the other squad, with the arm. I haven't put the standard bearer in this one because these ones were already pretty much like half built, so I didn't really want to tear into them. But he's got the option for the weapon as well. And this guy, obviously he has the option for a thunderhammer. I've got Brother Captain Stern. I think one of my main things that I want to do for this army is add a few more heroes, so I'm going to buy what's his name? The geezer with the shield. I'm going to buy the normal troop guy as well. Get a few more heroes in, just to see what I can do really. Onto the big guy that I've just finished. So he's got, obviously I said he's got magnetised weaponry, but what I did with him was I didn't want him to have like the basic pose of just like a crappy sword, standing still, static. So what I did was cut the arms at the joints, so here and here, pretty much twisted them to get them to a point where they were kind of in line with each other. I used a piece of metal rod for the spear shaft. Had to kind of bend the leg as well and cut the joints of the foot to get it so it's standing on the rock and actually looking kind of not so static. One thing I wish I would have done was move the hands into the positions, but I can't be bothered to do that now. But yeah, so I drilled through, magnetised as much as I could. So he's now got a magnetised weapon, so he's got a couple of options. But I think if I buy another kit, what I'm going to do is give the guy some sort of ball and chain weapon. So I'm going to try and convert a shield, so he has like a big shield, or just have a chain going through both hands down to the floor with a big like spiked ball or something. So I obviously want these to be kind of Templary in a way, so you're going to have like chain-based weaponry, flails, things like that. For the big guys, I'm probably going to do that. Hoping to get a Land Raider soon when funds get a little bit more up in the air. I've had a few people cancel jobs over the last week due to all this corona crap. Because obviously people are being laid off work, so they haven't got as much expendable cash as they wanted to. So I kind of put a few of my plans on hold. But at the same time, it's understandable. You know, people need to take care of themselves first before they buy toys and things like that. So yeah, that's pretty much what I've done for him so far. I do have an Imperial Knight. I'll just get him down. Based in the exact same way as the army. So I do have him. He's kind of part of the army in a way. So I do have him to add if I do games. He's painted in the red theme to kind of match in with the army. He's got hazard stripes and things. Done a bit of battle damage on him, so the kind of the lore for him was, you know, he's seen combat. He answered the call when the Grey Knights basically sent out the message, and for that he got brought into their chapter as an honourable kind of brother in a way. So he now gets called out if he needs to, which I kind of like the idea of him just being called on and he just turns up and just wrecks everything. I do have this guy as well, which I kind of kit bashed. So I had if I can get it to focus, I had the Lieutenant Calcus or whatever his name is from the Conquest magazines, but he was like destroyed. His arms were missing and everything. So what I did was took his body, cut his head off, kept the backpack, stuck on some Deathwatch shoulder pads, Deathwatch upgrade helmet, gave him a Thunder Hammer from the normal guy's kit, gave him a shield thing, a pauldron shield, and a wrist mounted bolter, and now he is kind of my brother captain in a way. So if I ever need to take another brother captain, I can always use him. So the lore behind him is basically if the Inquisitor's a bit busy purging heretics elsewhere, he'll answer the call and beat the crap out of things with his hammer, really. But I say I'm really enjoying painting these at the moment because I've never really... I got into 40k quite a few years back, really enjoyed playing it, and then the kind of the circle that I was in kind of dissipated and disappeared over the years, you know, like work, relationships, things like that. So kind of dropped off, started going the Lord of the Rings route. Been playing that for a good few years now, you know, I've built up a decent few armies for Lord of the Rings, but kind of wanting to give that a bit of a rest at the moment to kind of concentrate a little bit more on 40k and Warhammer Fantasy. So obviously I'm still going to, because my day job I am a commission painter, so I'm painting Lord of the Rings stuff like nearly every day. I've just finished painting an Iron Hills chariot, building it from scratch, painting it for the customer, and also a unit of 10 crossbow guys for him. So that was good fun. But obviously I'm painting Lord of the Rings all the time. Kind of, I don't know, the trouble I have with that is the games are so far away. If I want to play in a tournament or something for a day, I've got to travel probably the best part of 2.5 hours just to get there and have a bit of fun. So I'm hoping getting in the 40k thing will kind of open up a few more doors to me locally for like tournaments and things in my local game shops and stuff. So I'm kind of wanting to throw myself back into that. It's given me the opportunity to kind of refresh my palette a little bit and collect an army that I've been wanting to collect for ages. So as I said, I've got another squad of 5 for them to do, which I'll probably do over the next week. in between some jobs. I've got some Hellboy stuff to do, and I've got 2 proper old school Blood Bowl teams. And then when these are at a stage where I'm happy with what I've got, so when I've got the other squad painted, got Land Raider, probably another squad of these guys down here, a couple more heroes, then I'll leave them, push them to the side, get some games out of them, you know, have a bit of fun with them, do armies on parade with them, and then concentrate on doing a Warhammer Fantasy army. So with them, I've always liked Lizardmen for Warhammer Fantasy, and now they've brought out this Start Collecting box for like 50 quid. It's kind of a bit of a no-brainer really, just to get like 2 of those, and I can have a decent Warhammer Fantasy sized army. I've got some Skinks, I've got some Lizardmen in a box that I bought from my other half because she wanted to paint them. So I'm now going to take them and just repurpose them. Got my Thorns of the Briar Queen as well. So what I'm going to do is also do a Warhammer Fantasy army, but do Night Haunts. So I'm basically going to use rules for other things like skeletons and stuff like that. But I'm going to use the Night Haunt models, which I think would be quite fun. I really am looking forward to building like units and having unit fillers of like tombs and things like that, and bits of rock and stuff, and like things coming out of them. It's just going to give me something kind of new to try, really, in a way. And can be prepared for when they start bringing all the Warhammer Fantasy back. But as of now, the Grey Knights are kind of my priority. They're now starting to take shape a little bit more. I'm really enjoying them. I'm probably going to rent him into the competition that's coming up soon, or my knight. But I have found myself with a bit more time because obviously with this infection thing going on, Golden Demon has unfortunately been cancelled this year. So that's left me with a little bit more time. I was partially way through painting some Adeptus Mechanicus for the small scale. So I was painting up this guy. I had my Deathwatch Chaplain, I had Aragorn, and I had a couple more models that I was painting up. But now I can just kind of put them to the side and concentrate on them a little bit more and not rush them in a way. Now I've not got to worry about it. But I'll say it's given me a little bit more time now. Now everybody's kind of got to stay indoors. It's given me a little bit more time to not have to keep faffing about going out to do shopping and things like that. And got more of an excuse to just come and sit down and crack on with work and get more productive, really. But as I say, I hope everyone is staying safe. You know, if you've got an army you wanted to paint or something, now is kind of the time to do it. You know, if you've been laid off work, just don't try and worry about the financial side of things. You know, just live each day as it comes. You know, if you've got enough money to pay your bills, you're sorted. Really, just concentrate on just keeping yourself positively motivated and just do something you enjoy. You know, if you can't obviously go out to like busy places and things, but if you've got an army you want to paint, or you've got some projects that you've got unfinished, just do the projects. You know, build a display base or something for your models to go on, or just, I don't know, just enjoy the time you've got off, because it's not always you get time to have time to yourself, really. You know, you have to book holidays from work and stuff like this. Being self-employed, obviously I have the luxury of being at home all the time, but it does get to a point where it does kind of grind on you. But I hope everybody is kind of staying safe. You know, you don't take things for granted. You know, don't start mad rushing to the shops and things. Just take each day as it comes. Just see how it goes, really. But so with these, I'm really chuffed on how these are turned out. I've spent a little bit of time on them. Probably a few things that I could improve, but these are only to a tabletop standard for me. I'm not planning on winning shit tons of awards with them, or winning, I don't know, some sort of trophy for like best painted army ever. They're all themed, you know, they've all got the same matching bases, you know, they've all got the same kind of paint scheme. That's the point, the paints that I used for these, it's kind of a weird combination. I tested something out and it worked out well, which was really good. What I do is I use Vallejo Airs Silver, which is this one, which is RLM 01. So it's silver, but it is silver. What I do is I use this over a black undercoat. So what I do is first prime the models with Army Painter Black, matte black, because obviously the airbrush tends to stick to it a lot better. Then what I do is I put the silver through an airbrush, do the whole model with an airbrush, all silver, lovely job. I use Retributor armor for all the bits that are gold, like the shoulders, the trims on the swords and things, bits and pieces like the little writing in the middle of the armor cracks. After that, paint the weapons black, do the purity seals, and then I use this one. I use Lothern blue for all the weapons. So I paint the whole weapon with blue, wash it, paint it again, leaving a little bit of darkness in the undercoat, like in the alcoves and what have you. And then what I do is I did try this with another type of white, but it seems to have gone a bit weird. I use this white. I first started using this white from Model Air, which is white, obviously. But then I found this one, which is Blanco white, and it's more white, if that makes sense. So what I do is I put a little bit of this in the airbrush. I'll get his sword off here just to show you. And then what I do is I start about halfway. I do quick sweeps over like that with the airbrush, and then I do it all the way down to the end, and I do a really heavy kind of spray at the end. So I make sure it's like pure white at the end, and then it fades into the blue. And then I learned this off. I saw this off Instagram. Someone did this on Instagram. They then edge highlight with a white. So I use the same white, edge highlight there, and then down the center of the sword. And then I also do all the little cracks and stuff. I don't know if you can see it. All the little cracks and lines and things. I then use the white to highlight those, and it just makes the power weapon look so much better. It doesn't make it look so bland. Same with the Terminators as well. I did all down the edges. I don't know if you can see down the edges of the power weapons and stuff like that. And that's pretty much the recipe. You know, the red is just Mephiston red. Once I've put all the base coats on, I then wash the whole thing with Nuln Oil. I don't dilute it. I just do it straight out of the pot. Because the silver that I use, it's got quite a good return. You know, it doesn't pool. It kind of pushes it off the surfaces, so that the flat areas stay silver, but the cracks kind of get the wash in it, which is really good. And then obviously I just build up the layers from there. So I leave the gold as it is, build up the red again, do the purity seals, do the blue, and then that's it. The bases are even simpler. What I do is I kind of do all my bases all at once, so they kind of fit in. So the other 5 Terminators I got down there, I did the bases for them last night with the Dread Knight. So what I do is stick some slate on and some little rocks, which are out of a bag of cat litter from Tesco's, but these are like plaster chips. It's not like normal cat litter, which is like stones. These are like bits of plaster. So I just put these through a sieve to get rid of all the dust, and it keeps all the rocks. Stick a few of them down on there. Stick the sand down. Take it outside. Hit it with Poundland's black spray paint, matte black, and then I do a light dusting of the Poundland grey primer, which gives it that really kind of bright grey. And then I dry brush over it with Administratum grey, and then just a really fine light dry brush with Corax white. But I think I might use something. I might use Army Painter's matte white now instead of Corax white, because Corax kind of is like a dull white, if that makes sense. I want quite a bright white on them. But once that's just done, just rim the base in black, and that's it. And then you just get your model, find an appropriate pose, and just stick it down. Really, that's it. But yeah, so this is a little video I thought I'd do for my Grey Knights, because they don't seem to get much love on YouTube nowadays. And yeah, so I hope you all have a good time hobbying. You know, keep yourself safe. Don't go out unless it's necessary. Spend this time and do a little bit of hobbying. And I hope you are all well, and I hope you all have a good time hobbying. And I'll catch you in the next video. So see you later, guys.